ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 9-9 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Yep, today we're going to go in with Cynthia Anderson because she wants to put out what's going on in May in the music industry down in Fort Worth with all the stuff that she's promoting. So go ahead, have at it.
Yeah, so I'm excited first off to have Angry Meat Productions down there as the guest judge. You're coming on the 18th, right?
I'll be down there the 18th. It's going to be a weird day for me.
We're going to try to get him as a guest judge. He may or may not be a guest judge. If y'all think that you should do it, just do it. What is that? What is that coffee you're always drinking?
Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah, just get an extra cup of Black Rifle for the day.
God, I don't know when I'm gonna be up starting out because she scheduled it right when the NRA is gonna be.
Oh, so it sounds like a really long day. But so we have 2 events in May at Horace Hall, which is in the downtown Fort Worth Stockyards, and we are combining our visions. So I want to take our country back 40 years to where like that world that we were born into, where it was still a little bit wholesome. And they have a vision of the back 40 having bigger events that are collaborative with several different venues, and together we're teaming up with our TSSC Artists and Community Mental Health Networking organization that we have through the Texas State Songwriters Championship and Texas Free Radio. We're teaming up with multiple people. Like we have Fishbowl Radio Network, Born and Bred Radio Show, and Outlaw Television Network they're all resident judges for our contest. And we just recently teamed up with Kindred Spirit Radio as well. She's going to be coming to our shows and doing artist interviews and helping do a lot more of the artist exposure type stuff, so that I can focus on the actual organization itself. But the second Saturday of every month, we have what we call Jokes and Strokes for Folks. And that's when we get a bunch of comedians together and a bunch of musicians together, and we give them a room where people actually want to sit there and listen to them. Like they want to bring their families and they want to laugh and they want to have a good time, and they aren't there to drown themselves and their demons. They're there genuinely to be around good people
and enjoy the evening. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have our comedy is PG-13. Our comedian for this month is going to be Rocky Deer. And oh my goodness, this man, I love this man. He was referred to us by Chris Crawford Comedy. And I'll tell you why I love the 2 of these guys. it's not very often that you can find a comedian that can keep all of their content PG-13. A lot of times comedy comes from dark places. It literally is broken people trying to help other people laugh and heal. Robin Williams, it's completely that story. And so when you have like school teachers and lawyers and people who are forced to use their brain for something that then in turn get to use their brain to be creative in something that they actually enjoy and making people laugh, it's a different experience. It's very refreshing. And we are going to get to experience that this coming second Saturday, which would be May 11th. And if you go to texasstatesongwriters.com/May 11th, did you just pull that up or is that one mine?
That's yours.
Okay. So if you guys see here that the website, it's $5 entry. That's going to get you, we do have a bar. We get our liquor permit for these so that you can drink, but that's not the focus of our shows and it never will be. And we're going to make sure that you also have water and that you have a safe way home. We're not going to babysit you. We're not going to pay for your Uber, but we're definitely not going to let you take off if you're acting a fool. So it is a public event. I had to reiterate that because this is a private event venue. It's a private event center. So you can like rent it for your birthday party or your wedding reception, or, you know, if you want to throw a high school reunion in the stockyards and just have a little home base right there. Fact of the matter is that it's not only our veterans that suffer from PTSD. Most of America does at this point. And it's kind of a cool little place that you can have your central hub for whatever kind of big event that you want to do, and then still be able to experience the stockyards. They're owned by the same, some of the same partners that own Pearls, which is the oldest music venue in Fort Worth. And one of our big radio sponsors for Texas Brew Radio is the Velvet Fox Hat Company that hangs out there at Pearls this every Saturday during the day. They make like custom hats, man. They have like heart-shaped hats and they can burn anything on it and paint them different colors. And you literally can put your entire personality on these hats. And so every year starting for season 9, they've committed to partnering with us and giving our winners a brand new custom hat for the ones who win at our champion. It's totally going to help brand our artists when you can walk in and your personality's on your head and they don't even have to ask for your name because it says it right there on the front of your hat. Like, that's next level. That's going to be something amazing. And so we do what we can to support them. And we're so happy that they've kind of accepted us into their family. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We do have car show going on starting at 4. We'll have food trucks. We have a food truck contest. Vendors are welcome. We want to eventually have this to where we're forced to just shut down the block and have a whole block party with like different cars from across the state of Texas and different vendors and food trucks from across the state of Texas, to where we can really revitalize the live music scene right there in Fort Worth. Because since I started hosting events there in November, over 6 live music venues have closed. And we like literally just took over the spotlight from Nashville. And Nashville was pretty shady to our artists for so long. And that's why Texas grabbed the torch. And we definitely don't want to cater to that kind of stuff. And so we're having events to we the people again, because the matter is that we live in the land of we've been conquered and divided. There's really, I mean, family reunions kind of died when our grandparents did. We have to bring that stuff back, or our kids are in, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, we have to bring this back. Good people do still exist, and they are far and few in between. And I mean, a lot of it is because of money. Like, we're all chasing something that gets printed every single day, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So starting at 7 o'clock, we've had a lot of artists coming. And so instead of Cynthia staying up until 5 a.m., we have started an open jam from 7 to 8:30 to where you can come, and we have a whole video team and a director, and we're putting together segments to where people can actually see the show online after the show if they're unable to make it. So there's going to be a lot of exposure opportunity in that, and it's helping us also to establish the history of what we're doing. I picked up the torch on season 9 of the Texas State Songwriters. So there's 9 years before me that when I finally get a chance to slow down a little bit more, I'm going to do some more diving. I know that I did when I first started running this marathon back in November. But there's still a lot of groundwork that I want to do to get the history up on our site. But going forward, we're definitely doing our part. So from 7 to 8:30, you can come be part of the video promo exposure. And then we were doing from 8:30 to 10, but since we were doing judging for the car show at 8:30, between 8:30 and 9, we're going to start comedy from 9 to 10 and cut it to an hour and then throw our featured artist up there. This time around, our founder was actually going to do our May 11th event, but we encourage our artists to follow their heart and their passion and their soul. And his said that he needed to be soaking up the sand somewhere on a beach. And we told him, hey, you have that freedom. You've created that life. You go do that. We're going to cover you. So Jason Jopes, goodness, I hope. I'm dyslexic, and he finally corrected me after like months of not. And so I'm not sure if I said that right or not. And I'm sorry if I didn't, Jason. I'm just going to call you Jason and Wifey. Jason and Wifey are coming to Save the Day. And let me tell you about Save the Day. This artist is just, he called me because we had an event earlier. He was our first ever Jokes and Strokes for Folks show back in January. And it was freezing cold, like freezing negative temperatures. We literally had people that had to leave. They were worried about their chickens. It was worry about our chickens cold. And he messaged me at like noon and was like, Cynthia, I think I just blew out my Achilles. And I was like, yeah, ha. Do you think you're one of the comedians, or are you going to come play music? Literally, that's what I told him. And he was like, well, I'm going to come play music, but I'm just telling you, like, it might sound like hell by then. Like, I'm in pain. And I was like, bro, if you're serious, like, you don't have to come. But I even tried calling people, and they were like, we got your back, Cynthia, if he can't do it. And Jason's like, why are you calling people? I told you I was coming. And he did. And he played his whole show and didn't complain about it once. And he came on crutches. Like, he had to go to the store. That was the thing. He was worried about he might be a little bit late because he had to go buy crutches so that he could come. And I was like, bro, you're coming. I don't care if you're late. That's just, wow. Don't worry about that. So we really have something that the artists enjoy, because I'm just a vessel. Like, I'm just here for the journey, just like everyone else that comes along. We're just all here for the journey. I'm not going to dictate where the journey takes us. Like, when you're going downstream, you never know when there's a log that's going to come. You have to be able to just flow like a river. And so that's what we're doing. And we're just allowing God's work to flow through the people that he brings. And in April, we have a guy that predominantly, like, he sings comedy through his music. And like I was saying, like, comedy can kind of get dark sometimes. And so a lot of his songs are, about smoking weed and drinking beer. And it was really awesome to go from, we had an artist open that sang secular music and Christian music. So that was a cool start to the show. And then we had a Christian woman that sang very, very, she is a very powerful, beautiful, like, the way she can, like, take a caterpillar and turn it into a butterfly in her songs is just incredible. And the way that she is not afraid to tell her story, because that's what our mission is with Texas State Songwriters, Texas Brew Radio, is giving a platform for our artists to tell their stories, because stories are experiences and we learn from experiences. And a lot of our stories have been limited. I mean, they're actively deleting history that we learned in public school. Like, we have to be able to tell stories, and we do that through music. And so to have her get up there and, tell about losing her son in a story and make that a beautiful thing. Like, so first off, as soon as she got done telling us about the song, I made the mental note that maybe we should have them sing the song and then tell the story about it, because I didn't know if she was actually going to be able to tell the story or sing the song after she told the story. And I kind of, like, I started praying for her, honestly, because I was like, man, she's choked up, and I don't know if I would even be able to continue going, doing what I was there to do if I had been choked up like that in my voice, especially singing. Singing is not an easy task to start with. And she did. And the further she got, the more powerful she got in her voice. And she was like, you could just literally feel her embrace her story on that stage. And that's what we're there for. And then, we have the comic musician, and the guy that came was actually a replacement. He only planned on coming to do 10 minutes just to kind of get a video so that we could promote, because we had changed locations. And he ended up saying, hey, Cynthia, no, I'm hosting the next show. I'm going to bring some guys with me. His family ended up staying. Even they went from the Christian woman to the guy singing about drinking beer and smoking weed. And the whole family was there, and they enjoyed their night. And this was a transition of a man that was just there to do 10 minutes and see what our show was about. That was like, hey, when am I going up? I need to get out of here. When am I going up? I need to get out of here. And he's like, no, I'm coming back, and I'm bringing it next time. And so to be able to have somewhere where you can just let the talent create the environment, it's just, it's really cool that Cynthia doesn't have to be in control of all that, and I can just make cool things happen. So we're excited about May 11th. May 11th is one of those shows where, if you're an artist and you want to come jam with us, just let me know, and I'm going to throw your Spotify up here on this platform. Jason does not have a Spotify yet. We actually play his demos on our radio station because we love Jason and his wife. They're absolutely amazing. They do a lot to support foster fur babies. They are big on the fur babies and supporting that. Man, May 18th, we have an awesome roster too. I'm going to share that one as well. And you can find our events. The upcoming ones are right here. Like, see, we have May 18th, May 11th, and then we have Billy Joe Shaver. April 13th, we have some, I left it up there because that was our most recent one for point of reference to see kind of what we did for our performers to help promote them and stuff on that page. And then also for our sponsors, for $200, people can sponsor, and that covers for a radio station commercial for the year. But May 18th, we have the Male Songwriter Celebration. This is $20 to enter as a songwriter. And you can see we have Tylen and Zalua, probably said that wrong, Jeff Monk, Gabe Choate, Jules Taylor, Jared Foreman, Tim St. Clair, Corey Woldridge. And then Jason is also going to be on this here for this one. I do have a lot of updates to do. I went through the whole rebirthing process of Christianity and had a little bit of a PTSD situation, but definitely back and ready to rock out, and super, super excited. I will show you actually really, really fast because this one is awesome. I did not plan. I planned this event, but I did not plan this event. So me and the owners of Marty's Place planned to have an all-day event surrounded around music. And then I was like, okay, we got the whole event planned. The last thing we need to do is figure out which nonprofit we're going to use. And she's like, Cynthia, I live in a town of 6,000 people. I got a bar to run. I don't know. I don't keep up with all the nonprofits. And I was like, well, you have a radio contact, so message your radio contact. They probably know all of the nonprofits, and they probably know which one really needs help right now. And so they did, and they were like, well, Cynthia, how about we do this? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, if that's on your heart, let's do it. And so what was on their heart was for our organization, being that we are about mental health awareness for our artists and supporting our artists, our grassroots artists, our independent artists. They suggested that because KNES 99.1 out there had suggested that we host a statue fundraiser for Billy Joe Shaver. And Billy Joe Shaver is a legendary songwriter from the 70s, and lots of artists are inspired by this man. So to have just happenstanced on that, like, I cannot deny God's work. And so our third place contestant from our 2023 is going to be releasing his song Cruising in My Pickup Truck the day before this event. And so we're doing his single release party and having a great time. We're going to have food trucks. There's going to be a cornhole tournament. Some people call it bags. It depends on what side of the country you live on, but it's a cornhole tournament. And Mexia, I have finally gotten that one right. I kept calling it Mexia and kept getting told if I keep calling it Mexia, eventually some bad Texan's going to punch me in the mouth for saying it wrong. So finally figured that one out, but he's releasing Cruising in My Pickup Truck. Texas Brew Radio is currently the only station in the world that you can hear his song Blue Tick Hound. Billy Joe Shaver wrote songs for Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Elvis Presley, and tons of other legendary singer-songwriters, artists. And it's so exciting. Like we're having an on-stage reunion with possibly some of his official bandmates and friends, of course, as well that night. And we do have like from 4 to 7 p.m. Designated for artists who want to come play a song or two and tell a couple stories and get some exposure. I do know that I believe we have some magazines and stuff and TV presence that are absolutely coming as well. So we have been blessed. There wasn't anything on the books in November, and that's kind of why like I had to take the last 2 months kind of off. And I know that and I kind of went through a thing where like there was so many blessings coming that my brain had a mental shutdown. My doctor literally said, your problem is that your brain is completely full. And so any other little thing that comes that's going to offset your brain you guys, my sugars were dropping. My heart was trying to explode. And it was because my brain was full to capacity. Try to believe a doctor when they say that and not think you're crazy. I went down a bunch of research rabbit holes, and then I found Kindred Spirit Radio, and she was like, no, your doctors are right. You just need to chill. So there is no chill with Cynthia, but we did figure out what's going on. So I'm able to get stuff out. Journaling is good for your soul. And so is music and comedy. So I'm looking forward to lots of laughs, lots of great music, and a great family event. They say that the Fort Worth Stockyards is actually a bucket list place to go. And I don't know if I can pull that up really quick if you want to show that, but they do a cattle run, like old school Western style cattle run through downtown at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. And if you look it up on my profile, it's like, should be one of those things that I just recently shared. And if you guys that are watching my live feed, click the link in the bio up there, the extra link that takes you to the event page that we just had pulled up on. But at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. every day, they have the cattle run. So if you go to the cattle run at 4 p.m., you have plenty of time to go get something to eat and come to our show afterwards.
The herd. They call it the herd.
Yeah.
Old West comes to life before your eyes during the world's only twice daily by Fort Worth Herd. Real Texan cowhands drive herds of longhorns down the East Exchange Avenues in the Stockyard.
Cowboy Waves. It's a video. I got it. If you want to.
Yeah.
So guys, welcome to the Wild West.
Ultimate bucket list.
Fort Worth Stockyards. This national historic district is just north of the Fort Worth city center in Texas. And the reason why it's so historic is because this is basically cowboy country. Everything that you associate with the Wild Wild West is here.
In the 1800s, this was an important trading place for cattle, especially with the arrival of the railroad.
And that's pretty much the main attraction here. The most famous thing about Fort Worth Stockyards is the cattle drive. This is where they parade the cows through the streets, and look at the amount of people that have turned out just for this. I must admit, it's pretty surreal because obviously we don't see cows roaming the streets every day. But this is one of the main draws here at Fort Worth Stockyards, and I gotta admit, it's kind of cool. Apparently, there's a historic reason for this, but I've yet to figure that out.
And I heard that it was a bit of a cowboy town, a bit of a western town, but didn't realize how much of a western town it actually was.
And it's pretty evident that this is the preferred mode of transport here at the Fort Worth Stockyards, which is kind of cool. Now, whilst you're wandering the streets, you'll quickly realize from the paraphernalia that they're selling, to the things that are displayed in their windows, to the actual buildings themselves, that you're in one specific place.
Yes, you're in Texas. And secondly, it is actually a western town. Everything is pretty much intact. Everything's still made of wood. The brick cobbles on the floor are still the ones that were there 100 years ago.
And there's plenty of things to see and do here. You can go and ride mechanical bulls if you want to, get lost in this wooden maze, just because, and even drop off the kids to the petting zoo so that they can pet sheep and goats and whatnot. But one of the more fun things is to actually ride steers.
Yeah. Go ahead, get up on the top step, swing the right leg over.
Swing the right leg over?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's your stirrup right here.
Uh-huh.
You can pet him while you're up there.
So, just riding a steer today, as normal, It's a normal thing to do, riding a steer.
I milked this thing for all it was worth, and when it was over, I really did not want to get off this thing. This thing's pretty cool. But when you get a chance, check out the Stockyard Station. This used to be the railroad station that goes through the town. But now, they've converted it so that you've got lots of cool bars and shops for you to shop and eat at. From sweets, to steer hides, just in case you ever wanted to buy a steer hide, to spurs. I think they're spurs anyway, I'm not entirely sure. But the point is, you also get to meet some interesting characters here. Now, these guys were posting pictures, and I thought I'd join in.
Guys, these are my new friends. Say hi to everyone on YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
I'd highly recommend checking out Pawnee Bill's rodeo show. This is your typical cowboy rodeo show where they do things like trick roping, trick shooting with typical Western style shooters, and side saddling, riding horses on their side. And afterwards, you get to go and congratulate and meet the performers, which is cool.
You assume that this place would be quite western, but you don't realize how western it actually is until you get here.
Remember those friends from before? Turns out they're actually actors who like to shoot each other in the middle of the street for your entertainment purposes. I decided to watch the cattle drive again because it is actually a cool thing. It sounds lame in theory, but to be honest, I enjoyed every second of it. Just watching cowboys steering steers all the way down the street. I highly recommend going to Billy Bob's Texas. Yes, it's actually called that. This is the world's largest honky-tonk, a place where they have music, alcohol, and, well, line dancing. Yeah, you can even learn how to line dance here, so that's kind of cool. You can watch the Bull Rodeo, which was on when I went, and there's lots of famous people that have come here. Quite literally, quite a lot of them.
I want to come here. What do I do? Well, firstly, you have to get to Fort Worth Stockyards. It's north of the city centre, and for me it took about 40 minutes just to get here from Dallas Airport. The Stockyards itself, walking around the shops and seeing the cattle parade, costs nothing. Costs absolutely nothing. You'll have a great day out just by not spending money, which makes a change, really. Pawnee Bill's show ran me about $15, $20, and there's also a rodeo here that's every Friday and Saturday. Today's Sunday, so I completely missed it. And there's other attractions here too in Fort Worth that don't cost that much money. So guys, if you do like the Western scene, if you like cowboys, or if you've ever wondered what it's like to be a cowboy, come on down to Fort Worth Stockyards. It's free, it doesn't really cost anything, it's a bit of a drive to get here, but definitely add this to your bucket list. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Ultimate Bucket List. If you've got any comments or questions, comment on the comment section below. And if you've got any other ideas as to what to add to my bucket list, feel free to tweet at me. If I get enough suggestions, I will do it. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, so something is driving me nuts.
What is there? Echo?
Like, you don't hear the static?
I hear it a little bit. Yeah, it just might be the cord. But anyway,
well, I've moved every single cord there was. I finally think I got the. I give up.
there you go. No, the cattle drive is by the 4 Sixes Ranch.
Yeah. And so everything really is pretty much free in Fort Worth, and then our shows, we drop them down to $5 entry. So like you can really bring the whole family for $20 and enjoy a whole night of comedy and music, and go see the cattle drive and walk around the shops and get to see the little reenactment stuff and the cool stuff that they do downtown. I mean, it's really an inexpensive way to come to town, and then also, you know, have something to do after you walk around outside where you can just chill and
Yeah.
hang out with the kids and enjoy your evening. Wow, Cynthia would be doing something like this while we're recording a show.
I've had word. I never told you what happened with a Destroy Agenda. She does t-shirts and everything. I didn't wear her t-shirt. I need to send her photos of me wearing her shirt so she can post it on her website. But no, she had her kid like running in the background. It was so hilarious. Just for a second, you're like, is that a demon behind you, or was that?
Did you see my daughter? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. I knew the grandbaby was in here, and then I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. But that's all the stuff that's happening for May through 11th through 8th, right? 18th.
May 11th is the Jokes and Strokes for Folks community public event. And then May 18th is the male songwriter celebration. And it was the Texas state, but we have opened my station up to all genres, all worldwide artist support. And so the only Texas state event that we're having is the finale. So the finale is the only show that you have to be a Texas songwriter in order to compete at. But the rest of them are a celebration. And so our male songwriter celebration is May 18th, and there are actually cash prizes for the top 3 on that. It will be judged by our resident judges, and that's for May. And then in June, we actually have a huge surprise, and I'm going to go ahead and let it out. But we have a Friday night. So Peyton Riley was going to do our Kumbaya Fest. And what that is there was a local artist here in town, Brandon Graham, that I did some work with, and it kind of was led on my heart that once a year we're going to do something in his honor. And so what we're doing is a songwriter seminar retreat where we help songwriters with songwriter development and stuff like that. Goodness, what the heck was I talking about? The male songwriters.
Yeah, male songwriters for June.
Oh, for June. Yeah, so we're doing the songwriter seminar retreat. So basically we're going to have like a big song swap circle where you just come in and everybody gets to know everybody, hang out, go around a circle out. And we're probably going to do this outdoors and just make a day of celebrating diverse songs from all over. And it's going to be a whole weekend of it. Actually, we have Friday night kicking off the weekend. Peyton Riley was going to be our Saturday night performance, and we ended up moving locations. And when one door closes, another one always opens. And if you're a believer and you know that, it definitely always opens. So Peyton Riley is very inspirational, 15-year-old artist, and she has some family stuff that she's going to be doing. And we always are family first. At the exactly what I told her, girl. Don't miss out on those memories. You need to go be with your sister, because her sister's doing like a softball or soccer. I don't remember now because I've been like 100 miles an hour every day since, but she has a family event, and that's important. And especially being an artist at that age, you can't miss out on your life because you're telling stories on the stage. You can't. So I encourage the artists just to have open communication with me. If they let me know in advance, I can always cover it. It's the last minute things that I can't. So I encourage them to just be open. This isn't another place where you're going to work. Like, this is just creating a network and a family, and somewhere where you can go inspire other artists and get inspired, and inspire the community as well. And so we, kind of just had that communication of, yeah, that's where you need to be, and I'm gonna cover you. Well, I honestly was like, oh great, how am I gonna top that? Like, she is an amazing performer. She's Young Artist of the Year, Young Vocalist of the Year for the Texas Country Music Association. She's a current American Idol contestant. And God said, I got you, Cynthia. And so he sent us a 3-time Grammy Award-winning Tejana country music artist from here in Texas. He actually is running a revival in Dallas the next day. So he's going to come and perform for us on Friday night and kick off the celebration of celebrating all the songwriters around the world with our Kumbaya Fest. And so he's going to be singing and storytelling. So his music, he's going to be giving inspiration and like some tips and tricks of the trade to our songwriters, and help them, figure out how to get down that path to the Grammys that they're aspiring to want to do, or, just give it. It's going to be an amazing experience. And so it's so awesome to be able to like see the power of God working and what's going on, because Cynthia is not, I'm over here losing my mind because there's so much amazing things going on. It's not me doing it. It's absolutely beautiful. And so if you go to TexasStateSongwriters.com, you can find that. You can find, you can get your online conceal carry class through us, and help support what we're doing. You can get custom design work. There's a whole t-shirt line on there to support what we're doing. And there's a lot that I've learned through what I'm going through. And a lot of it comes back to God's given us everything that we need to help heal us. And most of our problems can be cured by a proper diet. And so there's going to be a lot of education on there. And we have a subscription that we just started on there too, called The Vault. So I think I'm done talking, bro. I think I got out everything I needed to say, and I'm excited. I'm super, super excited about this time, because we do have Fishbowl. Not this week, May 11th, we have Born and Bred, Outlaw Television Network, Kindred Spirit Radio, and Texas Brew Radio is going to be there. And then the 18th, we have all of those, and we're adding Fishbowl Radio Network, and hopefully this guy over here.
You pointed in the wrong direction. I'm gonna be on the other side. Hold on, let me.
Oh,
No. It has to be on this side. This side.
It's
Over
opposite
there.
for me.
Yeah.
And why does it look like we're doing? I need to take a picture of what it looks like on my end, because on my end, it looks like we both reach the same direction, like instead of together.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Love you guys. Check out all the stuff in the description, and love you guys. Take it easy.
Thank you.